I want to
All right.
ask you, why are your legs posed like a Latino gangster from California? In
That's how we
California,
walk.
when a Latino gangster poses, they always do this kind of side foot thing. But what does this have to do with showing? Is it something about
Well,
showing the legs?
I did a post cycle therapy, and my nuts are gigantic, Leo. You know this. Come on. Look at that. I mean, I know it's a black pants, but you should. There's clearly a lot of volume there.
I was gonna say before we get off topic on the whole so that NAFLD thing, Steve, how much like from peak, like there's gonna be a clip in its own probably as far as your progress, because you just did the video recently about your reverse transformation essentially, which I'm sure you have more elaborate detail on that one, so check it out, guys, if you haven't seen it. But your peak like body composition metrics, like what were you in terms of weight, roughly body fat percentage?
I'll
if
share
you can
the screen
share and we can do it, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me let's see. So I got Leo's pictures in the meantime, so maybe we can switch to that in the meantime. So where should I start? Where should I start?
I don't know.
Okay, well, let's just start by the pictures from last week Sunday, where it looked like this. So this was me, 85.5 kilos. You guys can see everything?
No, we didn't see you open the picture.
Oh.
The picture didn't open. We see the documents folder.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm sharing my screen. Maybe it's going very slow. You can't see any of the pictures. Oh,
I can see all the previews of them. Like we're still in your Bio Bros folder on our thing.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, we see your mouse moving. Yeah, we see you moving. Yeah, we just need you to open it. That's all.
I'm opening, but let me stop the share. This is here we go again.
Audience, we're learning this is the first attempt actually for either of me and Steve's channels to there we go.
Okay. All right. So this is what I looked like 1.5 weeks ago on Sunday of end of March. Okay. So this was 85.5 kgs, front double bicep, back double bicep, and this is the vacuum pose and side chest.
Okay. Wait, Steve, I have to make a comment, bodybuilding critique. I want to ask you, why are your legs posed like a Latino gangster from California? In California, when a Latino gangster poses, they always do this kind of side foot thing. But what does this have to do with showing? Is it something about showing the legs?
I did a post cycle therapy, and my nuts are gigantic, Leo. You know this. Come on. Look at that. I mean, I know it's a black pants, but you should. There's clearly a lot of volume there. So, but the real answer is, you were trying to show our quad separation, so you have to stand out a little bit. Maybe you should pull up a picture.
No, I don't. I just don't understand. I was genuinely curious. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, so, I see that quad separation.
Here you can see the difference, right? So here, this was me at 115 kilos on the left, and then on the right, I'm 85 kilos. So that's 30 kilos less. So there, my feet are in the same position, but obviously I have a lot more adductors and a lot more hamstrings and less nuts.
Yeah. So the one on the left, was this right before starting your protocol, or like, coming off your protocol?
Like I think the weekend of being diagnosed, or a couple days before being diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease.
So that was when again?
October 2020.
Wow, that's like not that long ago. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's 7 months ago. Yeah, so I went down 30 kilos in 6 or 7 months, and then you see here the back double bicep. That's even more alarmingly different. The only thing that stayed were my calves. I'm not posing them correctly in this pictures, but the only thing that really stayed were my calves. Like even my traps completely disappeared.
So how long did you actually stop training for, though? Because for a while you were trying to hold on, right?
Yeah. So I did, I let my hormone levels decline. I did my post-cycle therapy. And then my post-cycle therapy was successful. I was still training, albeit it wasn't very enjoyable. And then, when I realized my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease was only 50% resolved by going off cycle and doing all the supplementation, and caloric restriction for certain periods. Like during post-cycle therapy, I didn't do caloric restriction, but I ate a little bit above maintenance. So that postpones the amount of recovery you can have when it comes to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, because you need to be in a caloric deficit. But, as my hormones levels were declining, I was in a caloric deficit. So let's say I was in a caloric deficit for half the time and still training, being androgen deficient. And then my hormones level came up and my food came up. So that made it have, probably postponed the resolvement a little bit. And then I decided to brute force it with this fasting mimicking diet. And I think before the fasting mimicking diet was like 93 kilos. I can't really remember, maybe 94. So I dropped 10 kilos in 6 weeks. But I came down with 20 kilos already just by going off cycle.
So the context for a lot of the people watching too is not this is necessarily indicative of just coming off and PCTing and 6 to 7 months later. Rather, it is also doing this fasting mimicking plus not training for a decent portion.
Absolutely, yeah. So not training for 6 weeks and not basically eating anything of substance besides fiber, and something to fill my stomach. So this is an even crazier transformation. This is 1 year in between. For me, sauce to the gills, March 2020, when I did most of the pictures, and where I was
more comparable too, because the hair is actually there.
Yeah, but the jawline is it changed tremendously. You see that?
Yeah, crazy.
You know what I noticed, Steve? If you do the side picture that you were on, the side one where you can see, not this one,
side chest.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sorry, side chest. Do you notice how your liver is actually smaller in the right one? You can see it's not a fat issue.
No,
your liver, your abdomen is.
That's food. That's all food and intestinal mass. Yeah, you can see from the abs and thighs. Right?
Yeah,
just see that my obliques are protruding.
Yeah, but you wouldn't see. So the obliques are protruding on the. Oh, maybe it is just muscle, I guess.
It's just mass. It just
could
mass.
Could also be fat on the liver. That
probably, yeah. Maybe it's because I can pull my vacuum a lot deeper now. So and keep in mind that 115 kilos, I was using, anabolics, insulin, growth hormone, all reasonable dosages, and of course eating 5,500 calories every day.
Yeah, but look at but the definition in your body is, I mean, it's more on the right, but you were quite lean on the left also, and
I was reasonably lean, but the Lantus long-acting insulin and the growth hormone is of course blurring all the definition. And I was training insane, and even training insane put some water on you. That's what I noticed now already. So let's see if I have some other. This is natural pictures. You can watch the video.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see. I'm
curious. You want to see? Yeah. This was me at 88 kilos.
No way! Incredible. I have a natural one also. Well, that's incredible. You look so young. You look as young now. Honestly, the picture, the face is the same.
That's a weird thing. I think I de-aged 10 years, and that's what everybody's saying in the comment section as well. When I posted this video, I thought I still think I look horrible in these after pictures, but a lot of people were actually quite complimentary in the comment section. Yeah. I think if I formulated it differently, if I said, "Oh, it didn't look so bad," this is still pretty good for 20 years of bodybuilding and still look better than the general population, the comments would be completely polar opposite.
Maybe.
So this is, I think, right before I started my first cycle. My back is still pretty decent. Yeah.
Crazy. You shaved your head even back then.
Yeah, I've always done that. I hate hair, man. It's annoying.
This fucking guy. This guy.
So what? Send you some plugs there. Take it off.
So what is the plan now? Like, are you gonna ease into TRT, or what is the plan for you?
I'm 92 kilos now, right? And I didn't lose that much strength. My peak strength was, let's say, 11 plates on the leg press, and now I'm pressing 7. So I dropped about 75% of my strength, before I did this fasting mimicking diet, and now I'm around 60% of my all-time strength. Basically deload strength, considering I didn't train for 6 weeks. And I went to the gym going easy, but I was surprisingly strong, all things considering. So I think I'm just going to stay there and not do this crazy reps past failure, where you're really grinding and grinding and grinding. I'm not going to do that anymore, where my head turns red and people think it's high blood pressure, but it's actually the telmersartan and the tadalafil protecting me from my kidneys from elevated blood pressure. It's just all the capillaries that are, expanding and getting a temporary tomato face. So no more of that. No more pushing the food. So probably 3,000 calories. That's what it's going to be, besides a Sunday. And every Monday, I'm going to do fasting mimicking, which is today. Your Sunday, my Monday. So today is just going to be vegetables only. So one day a week, I'm not going to eat anything substantial, just to promote a little lipolysis, from the liver, potentially. And of course, on Sunday, I still eat freely, but it's not that crazy, considering I'm not that depleted and considering I won't have that much muscle mass anymore, which is a very hard realization because those pictures that I took a year ago where I looked great, I'll probably never be duplicated. And that's a very hard pill to swallow. That's very hard because I know I'll probably never beat that shape. And that's the whole point of bodybuilding. Always want to progress and improve and progress and improve. But maybe I'll just apply progressive overload to my income and then,
Yeah, that works.
Well, which we've all been doing for the last year during COVID. I think a lot of people self-employed got, substantially better financially,
Yeah. So no anabolics in the future this year?
At least 8 weeks. Yeah, at least 8 weeks. I want to see what I can accomplish, how far I can get without anabolics. I'm still on growth hormone, anti-aging. Yeah, I might. I still have a pan of Lantus laying around, which I might use like a little bit of insulin, on leg day, just to facilitate a little bit of recovery and work through that pen once that Lantus pen. It's long-acting insulin for the guys that don't know. Once that pen is gone, I won't purchase any more because I don't need it. Yeah, that's just like I don't want to waste drugs,
No,
So if I have it laying around, I'm going to use it just at a low dose, 5 units, 6 units, and then just phase that out. And probably 100 kilos is going to be my handicap, 225 pounds.
Wait, brother, this doesn't make sense. You can give away a Lantus pen. You don't have to use it.
No, it's already opened.
I'm not
going to give it away.
Why? Oh, okay, that's different. I threw a Lantus pen away the other day. I just found one from a year, like 2 years ago, and I was like, "This is crap." I poison. I threw this.
I just use it on leg day, facilitate a little bit of recovery. But once I'm 100 kilos, that's going to be it. No more 115.
Yeah.
Maybe
even my old
kilos.
even the old trend. It's like I know I'm never gonna fucking use it, but sometimes I'm like.
No, the trend's still there. No, the trend's still there. It's just,
Yeah.
The insulin's different. That's just ridiculous. There's no point of using that for me.
There's a lot of for me it is.
The trend is there in case I go to war. Like in my mind, what if there's a war? I have my trend. If something goes down, I'll be vigilant.
if Dave Palumbo makes another commentary video, the tremboloni sandwich gets pulled out.
No, but these things are like safety things. You need some of these. But the insulin, I don't know why I would keep it. The insulin is just for the audience that doesn't know. So Steve and I and Derek talk about this kind of health stuff all the time. So we all know that insulin is primary driver of cancers. It's the most like oncogenic pro-cancer hormone in the whole body, and it's like one of the major problems with bodybuilding in the first place. And Steve is on a ketogenic diet trying to avoid insulin a lot of the time, but then he uses a bit of insulin for performance advantage.
It works so well together, man.
But I feel like androgens are safer than these kind of insulin and growth. Personally, that's how I feel.
No. When it comes to the blood work and stuff, okay, maybe long-term, cancer and proliferation and that kind of stuff. But I think I prefer to keep the anabolics as low as possible to, not have your blood pressure go up so much and your lipids change and your liver stress and all that kind of stuff. I prefer to use the peptides.
I guess,
but you can't use that much growth hormone when your anabolics are low. So for me, going forward, it will be like this: 125 tests per week, 100 primo, so I don't need an AI and I get a little bit of a cosmetic benefit. So it's not hormone replacement. It's a cycle because primobolan is not bioidentical. So it's 125 tests, 100 primo, 225 milligrams of anabolics in total. I should be able to maintain 225 pounds on that, with decent training intensity and recovery. 2 units of growth and maybe 5-6 units of Lantus on leg day to facilitate recovery. That's it.
Oh, okay. It's a low dose. Yeah.
Yeah,
that seems sustainable.
I'm 35 units. I'm not going to do anymore. No way. That's the old me on 115 kilos. 700 carbs, 35 units of Lantus. Let's go.
Leo, so if we went through your pictures, would you be able to pick out what was happening during that time frame on the screen?
Yeah, sure. Although I have to just caveat that my pictures aren't as cool, obviously, and they're because I'm not a bodybuilder and I never trained for hypertrophy, and also to be honest, because of that reason we take less